Hi everyone, I'm Charles Wong, Property Management, and welcome to our third broadcast with respect to our COVID-19 updates. For those who may be watching this for the first time, this is our weekly broadcast where we provide updates and response to all feedbacks that we receive, and we find that watching a video is easier for most occupants to watch rather than to read notices. Before I start, I want to just inform that the time and date of recording, this is actually done on a Thursday, the 21st of May. The time is approximately 7:30 in the evening. And we've collected a lot of feedbacks up until yesterday, and I can't wait to share some of the feedbacks and our response to that shortly. I thought it would be interesting for us to provide some basic news in terms of the new cases reported officially of COVID-19 cases in Malaysia. As of yesterday, we have 31 new cases reported in Malaysia. Across the week since last Thursday until yesterday, the sort of new cases averages at 33. With the lowest cases that was reported on the 16th of May at 17 new cases. It does show that in terms of the whole MCO and CMCO seem to be working tremendously well for our country. But in the meantime, doesn't mean that we still have to stay safe. I'd like to also kind of summarize since the beginning of the MCO on the 18th of March, as property management, what have we done and what have we introduced. I'd like to quickly sort of summarize that. You're going to see some information that will pop up on the screen in front of you. Let's start by basically we introduce the movement control procedure, and much of our procedure focus a lot on the lifts and how we monitor and control movement within Jaya One. And we had sought out to essentially replan and restructure the use of our lifts to ensure that social distancing is possible, to sort of segregate in terms of making sure that we try to pinpoint certain exact users meant for these lifts. So that was introduced. We've also introduced contact tracing through some of our areas. We're able to put in place temperature checkpoints in some locations. We've put in a COVID-19 counter. This is a COVID-19 counter response area down on the ground floor near Tap Boy, which is just by the water fountain feature at the school. We've introduced intense and more frequent cleaning and disinfecting procedures in most of the common areas, especially in the lifts where people use the most to actually move from one place to another. We've also introduced central parcel delivery and pickup points. At the moment, this is actually being introduced for Block J, and we've seen an immense support, and we're very pleased that that's actually working out really well. This has actually reduced the number of parcel delivery people using those lifts and moving through those corridors. So we're very happy that that's actually working out very well. We also put in place energy conservation program plans to see where the areas we can save money during these difficult times. And we are working closely with the management committee to see if some of these savings, that if we can achieve them, we hope to pass them back on to our owners and our parcel owners. We also established a new communication system where we looked at how we're able to keep updates and able to broadcast updates consistently and frequently, and also how to handle receiving feedbacks. This whole process has been something that we have been campaigning for. We'll continue to campaign for the foreseeable future, so that we can encourage our owners and public occupants that they will use the system in which we've designed in order to communicate and stay in touch with each other. We also put in place a COVID-19 response procedure that in the event if there is a COVID-19 case, how to respond to that. It's been captured in all our notices. You'll see it probably by the end of this show that we'll always repeat those response procedures. We also put on a new norm and practice of guidelines for businesses here in Jaya One with respect to retail shops, offices and residences. We've already sent out guidelines in terms of these sort of safe and best practices in view of the COVID-19 situation. We also accumulated our stockpile of PPE, which we use primarily to make sure that our staffs, those in the front lines, are actually kept safe. So those are sort of, we've done a lot since the MCO. Those are kind of summary that you see in terms of what we've achieved up to now. We have tested our current communication system. We've seen some improvements there, but again, there's more to be done. So we're looking forward to introduce a couple of more changes, which I'll talk a little bit more later. Another thing is also the lifts. We've received a lot of feedbacks. So obviously there's going to be a continuous review and improvements which we see happening in the lifts. At the moment we are still waiting for our contractors to finalize the mock-up unit so that we're able to secure the hand sanitizers safely inside the lifts without it being open to being taken or stolen, and also concern about people might just damage them. So we're looking into that. We really hope to get that out as soon as possible. We've also looked at, we also want to continue to increase our educational programs through social media content. We've tried a couple of those things which you might catch in the Jaya One Facebook with respect to queue management. We've done a rather light-hearted sort of social media content. We hope that the public and those who watched it, we hope that you appreciated how it's gone in. So that's kind of sort of things we have done for in this what would be more than 2 months now. I'd like to also kind of sort of put some statistics out there regards to since the MCO on the 18th of March, we have actually received about 27 official complaints from the residents group. We received about 22 sort of feedbacks and complaints from the commercial side. All in all, we officially received about 49 sort of complaints and feedback. We've also seen most active communication channels coming in through emails. That represents about 35 emails we received. WhatsApp, it's about 24 complaints we received, and then Facebook we received about 10. And so I'd like to kind of bring this to all our occupants, residents, commercial, anyone that's following this broadcast, to kind of hopefully you'll be able to get used to the system in terms of how we would like things to work. In order to stay in touch with it, I'd like to just remind everyone in terms of our system, which ideally for us really, we see a lot of complaints and feedbacks being directed to either MC members right now, and essentially what we see is people getting in touch with them through their personal contact phone. And what happens is that I just want to just sort of quickly outline how the process works. You've got someone who wishes to lodge a complaint, and he WhatsApps an MC member. The MC member then brings it either to my attention or to the head of customer service attention, and then we log that complaint and feedback into our work order system. And then from there, we then accumulate these feedbacks along with all the other complaints and feedbacks that we get from emails, official channels as well. And then we pipe them into a list, and then every Thursday at about 2 p.m. we meet with the whole team, we review all the feedbacks, and then we look at our response, and then here I am on Thursday evening, we broadcast all the changes that we intend to make for the following week. It really would be easier if we could seek the understanding and cooperation of all occupants to actually go direct to our customer service. The details of the official communication channel is in front of the screen now, and I would really hope that you all would use those official communication channel as it would save a lot of time, but most importantly, that the MC's time is or their personal time is not completely overwhelmed by all these messages and feedbacks that's going directly to them. It's no fun being a messenger between the management and the occupant. And I really hope that continuously, I hope that all occupants will go direct to the official communication channel. Now that we have sort of set that in place, I'd like to sort of address one particular news that just surfaced only yesterday. But I think as of today, I think there were some very nervous people. There was a rumor regarding a possible COVID-19 case. I'd like to address that we had a report. So one of the occupants from the residence had approached us some 2 days ago, wanted to make an arrangement to transport her maid to the hospital for treatment, not for COVID-19 but for an immune disorder system. The maid was in great pain and she needed to move her maid to the hospital for this treatment and checkup. And what happened was she sought our assistance, and we used our COVID-19 response system where we didn't take any chances. We issued them with the correct full PPE. Our people on the front line was also wearing the full PPE, and we used the sort of emergency lifts to exit them safely, and then they went to the hospital, and when they came back we used the same procedure to make sure that they able to get back to the unit as safely and quickly as possible. And what is certain is I think this resident who had to help the maid to recover, to see a doctor, she wanted to make sure, and she already put a post out on her Facebook to everyone that there's nothing to be concerned. There were some residents who had spotted our exercise and our plan, and they saw some of our people that was wearing this PPE, and I think some residents got a bit nervous. We had received some phone calls, in fact many phone calls, asking if there was a COVID-19 case, which I'd like to confirm that wasn't the case. This is someone that basically needed to go to a doctor for other reasons. Basically I think I like to now like to continue to talk a little bit about our communication system, which is something that I'm pleased to put out there. We will be, as I said earlier, we're going to continue to campaign for our way of working, which is still a 7-day cycle. So that means after I broadcast this, after I've recorded this session, on the Sunday we'll be broadcasting this video, and essentially we will be using Monday to Wednesday to receive the feedbacks. And so you'll be seeing us putting out more poster program out there to sort of continuously educate and encourage people to use our working system. This particular poster talks about assuring everyone out there that we're always reviewing all the feedbacks and we're always listening. So I'd like to assure the public out there and the occupants out there, whatever feedbacks you provide to us, we do review all of them, and we assess all the suggestions and feedbacks. And of course, in terms of what we decide and what we choose to do, obviously we won't be able to accommodate everybody, but we do review everything. So that's the first thing we would like to assure the public. As long as we keep the feedbacks coming through the formal communication channel or the preferred communication channel, we will always be able to see everything. The next thing that we will also be putting out there is campaigning this simple idea of everyone's opinion equally matters. We respect the fact that your opinion, when you send in to us, we read them, we review them. It's a question of whether whatever we receive and what we choose to adopt, change and adapt, whether our decisions are guided, whether they are realistic, whether that's possible from an operational point of view, from a technical point of view, but also considering the other opinions of others as well. And so this particular message is really directed to people out there to say that we really do have to consider everyone's opinion. Alright, now that we've kind of gone through that, we'd like to kind of move on to questions in terms of questions that we have received since Monday this week, and I'd like to just take them through one by one. Let's start with